Hi, welcome back to Inspire at Random, and in this video I wanted to give some additional tips for those of you who are also on the Regan Hillyer's program. First of all, this video serves like a review and also tips, because I have this one video on my channel that actually had quite a lot of views, surprisingly, with regards to Regan Hillier's programs. I want to very quickly answer a question, because in my most recent video on this, someone actually asked, having gone through the course twice, what is your thoughts on this? Is it worth the money, or should I save it? I think this course is definitely worth the money. And actually, when I joined Mindvalley, it was $199 per year. I believe now in some places of the world, in case it's geography sensitive, it's like 99, like for a whole year instead. It's like that. It's like less than half of what I paid. And furthermore, I personally feel that this course alone has more value and has done more transformation for me even than some of the courses that I've paid like $5K to attend in person. And this is like at your own pace. It's really like a no-brainer. But going back in today's topic, so I've gone through this course twice, and as per the last lesson of the Regan Hillier's program, Art of Manifesting, she basically said that another approach that you can take once you go through this program is on a daily basis. You can go with your gut feel as to which meditation or which lesson would suit for you to revisit. And for me today, it was lesson 24, day 24. Day 24 is actually about the frequency of knowing. It's on the last leg of the course, and basically to kind of key yourself back into the frequency. I want to give you guys like some of my understandings from this, and it's one of those things like when you go through a program, like you watch a movie a few times. Like Hackers was my favorite movie, and I watched it so many times, and every time I watched it I discovered new things about this movie and details that I didn't notice before. Going through this lesson 24 for the third time, this is what I want to share with you. It's very important the frequency that you're manifesting from. I thoroughly understood what this meant, and she said that it should be the frequency of knowing. And why this is so important is because if you come from a frequency that is lower than your manifestation of what you want to manifest, then you only get certain result. The frequency that you're manifesting from, it also has to go in line with the actions that you're taking, because simply just, although it's 80% manifestation, 20% action, but if you're not taking actions on the correct plane of frequency, you're not going to get the same kind of results. You're not going to get the manifestation that you want. And if you're functioning lower than the frequency that you should be at your manifestation, then you're not going to be there as well. I want to give a very quick analogy. I want to give a shout out again to Min Park, who has great manifestation content. I watched a lot of his videos, and he said in a recent video that is it possible to manifest that I can marry an actress or influencer or some kind of a celebrity. He said this, alright, if you are going to bring yourself up to the level what this person would be attracted to, and be the person that person would want to be, a life partner, then you can. But if you're gonna continue to behave like a fanboy and do things that are only an action of a fanboy as opposed to a spouse, how do you expect that this person will take an interest in you or want to spend life with you, right? I want to share with you how I made a quantum shift in this respect. Truth be told, if you've been watching my videos, you've already covered huge ground since beginning this program, and this is despite the fact that I always wear the same shirts. So how do we get to the frequency to manifest the things that we want? What if we expose ourselves to even higher frequencies, even far beyond what we want to achieve? Over the weekend, I was binge-watching Bill Gates' documentary on Netflix, and that actually blew my mind. Not only did I develop a different understanding of Bill Gates than what I thought before, I used to think that he's just a geek, but I realized he's actually very, very cool. Alright, I forgot to mention one bit about this topic about watching Bill Gates' documentary. I know some of you out there are finding it very hard to stay in frequency, or at least a challenge to stay in frequency, because as much as you try to bring ourselves up to a higher vibrational level, there are all these people around us trying to bring us down, right? So I think one of the ways to get into frequency really well is to find out more about successful people. Like, just as when I was binge watching this documentary on Bill Gates, it really tuned me up. This is not to mean that before this, the other documentaries that I watched did not tune me up, like such as the one on Anthony Robbins that's on Netflix as well. There was I Am Not Your Guru, and other series I found very meaningful was like the one about the Bernie Madoff, and there's also a series on dirty money. Plus, the huge number of books that you can read, all the biographies of famous people. There's even one that I'm going to be watching next on Netflix. That's the one on Elon Musk. So, all this, and I want to tell you that the great side effect, when you get into this tune, you find that everything else that's not of this frequency, it's just so irrelevant. When I hear about the billions upon billions, the thousands upon thousands of employees, the monopoly of the market control, and not just that, the fact that he is good friends with Warren Buffett, and through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, how much they have impacted the world on ecology, sanitation, soon to be energy as well. That made me realize that my goals, my quest manifestation, my long-term manifestation are so tiny compared to the scale of what he's doing. After watching just 3 episodes of the documentary, I started to think to myself, what have I been doing my whole life? I looked at how hyper-focused he was in making things happen. We're going to get back to this thing about hyper-focus. The fact that Bill Gates is like a computer science engineer, right? And how that ties in with my sharing here today. Bill Gates is a workaholic, but he does not dislike it. He totally enjoys it, and if anything, it helps him to distress from other issues in life that could be more bothersome than work. Min Park in his videos likes to talk about the difference between pursuing and just wishing. Regan has her own version, and she says it's the difference between the expectation frequency and the knowing frequency. As we see the sky getting brighter in the morning, and soon after the sun actually starts rising, Bill Gates actively pursues all the various outcomes that he wants in life. And on top of that, he also knows that these outcomes that he envisions will be possible. And yet at the same time, we're not talking about manufactured manifestation. He does all the actions that he feels that are necessary. He gathers a team of all the relevant experts as could be possible, tries all the approaches out of the ordinary that people have usually done, looks at it at a different angle, and sees how things can be done at 1/10 of the cost. How can he transform the unsafe nuclear energy to be in a safe and efficient way? Everything is built upon firm foundations and principles. His mind constantly makes a framework of things over a period of time. A self-powered energy generation, waste reduction, clean water production facility processes 1/3 of the waste in Dakar, Senegal. Nearly eradicated polio in India and Nigeria. Over the Christmas week, when I had more time for myself and family as opposed to the work that I do, I was doing this Lego Technic model with my son. I feel that assembling Lego is very similar to manifestation, because when you look at all those pieces without a plan, it's just a bunch of pieces. But when there is a plan, the plan binds all these pieces together. But at the same time, I want to talk about the expectation frequency and the knowing frequency. If you're just simply expecting, right, you're going to get down to when you could be 95% built up, and when every additional percent that you build of the model, you start to obsess, like, what if we ran out of pieces? What if this piece is not there? What if that piece is not included? What can I substitute it for? You start asking all these what ifs. You're actually wishing that it's there, and you're giving yourself some doubts along the process that your brain becomes tuned to negative outcomes too. Your brain becomes tuned to outcomes other than the positive outcome that you want. Whereas a knowing frequency is knowing that Lego would have done everything they were supposed to do by a system, being the biggest toy company in the world, putting all the necessary pieces in the box, and you would find what you need. You do not waste time thinking and getting paranoid about outcomes that serve no purpose. Once I watched this Bill Gates documentary, I switched the frequency that I was on to another level. And suddenly I thought about all these, you can say I even got more unapologetic about the goals that I want. There's always this part of us within us that self-sabotages. I think that, these goals are too great for us. No, it's not. Because why? Some people have done far greater. Some people in their 20s have already amassed billions of dollars. So what is a six-figure income? What is a seven-figure deposit into your account? To achieve his vision, Bill Gates went out and enlisted the help of a person who has more patents than Thomas Edison. And yet some of us are wondering that we cannot get the help that we need to achieve the manifestation goals that we want. Believe and know that it is done. In lesson 24, Regan said your soul work is to do 3 action steps. After this manifestation, what came to your mind? What do you feel that you must do? I've been doing like hundreds. I've got hundreds of tasks, hundreds of micro tasks, all right, that I've done and crossed out, all right? I write them out, and when I check back my list, I don't cross them out on a daily basis. Sometimes I actually do skip them sometimes, and sometimes I could write out a bunch of things that I will be taking care of over the next 2-3 days. But I try to keep it as regular as possible. I try to do it daily, and I'm amazed how much stuff I've accomplished over the past couple of months. There's a lot of stuff that I actually went on to achieve without writing down in the first place. But I'm now actually coming on to the 700th task. What I feel also, like having gone through this for the 3rd time, right? Along the way, there are going to be certain things that will challenge you, and finance is usually a thing. Finance is one of the things that most of us want, and also the main thing that stops us from taking action sometimes. This is where it's very important. In my previous video, I mentioned from a TikToker, Ashley INC, I think on TikTok, she mentioned it. We gotta go in with that I'm rich mindset. As we get used to that, all right, when we start living out according to the actions that we intuitively feel that are correct for our manifestation, and we see that it gives us the results that we want, we stop self-sabotage that's been holding us back for years. I want to give a sharing, all right? A lot of us have been exposed to various coaches, life coaches, and even some of those on Mindvalley as well. They might say that don't talk about your goals too early because your mind may be tricked into thinking that you've already done them, and therefore there isn't this desire to do it. Live according to the knowledge that it is done. It is done, it is done. Knowing because you know, because you know, because you know. Do not be afraid to talk about your future. Talking about your future is different from talking about your goals. Do not be afraid to live your life according to what your future is going to be. It's very interesting how you can co-create your life just by taking this approach. On another Min Park video that I came across, he mentioned a very good point. People living in the 2D, cartoons, comics, they do not know what's happening in the 3D world. It's something beyond them. The 3D world would be the cartoonists in our world that create these 2D cartoons and animations. But at the same time, we do not know what's happening in 4th dimension, the 5th dimension. It could be that when we manifest, that when we do these exercises, we are sending signals that correspond with the 4th dimension, the 5th dimension. They give a feedback to us in this dimension that make our manifestations happen. I still get spine chills when I go through the things that I've written from all the previous lessons. When I do all the soul work, I read back, fuck, I actually achieved that. It's exactly as I wrote. So finally, thank you for spending your time with me. I want to congratulate all of you who have been taking this time and focus to not drop off the program, to make it this far into the program on day 24. And I hope this sharing helps you in case you also had some of these questions in your head about certain things, and I hope this helped you get additional clarity and make your manifestation possible. You're most welcome to give any comments or even questions. I seek to be able to help you from another person in the manifestation family. Thank you for watching and subscribe to my channel for more.